What up with you? Welcome to the Digital Pit Boss. And we gonna get into the Bitcoin and we gonna monitor the Bitcoin. As you see, the Bitcoin is trading for $895.43 or 17 cents. It's constantly changing. We're checking it out on the fly. So I'm gonna drop you a little audio for some of you who are not much familiar with the Bitcoin, and after audio, we'll do a little cover up. We'll cover a little bit of information, and this is just one of our financial shows. So let's get into the information. Stand by.
Those cryptocurrencies that you've been hearing so much about, there are a ton of them floating around now. Everyone wants a piece of the pie, but the main ones are Bitcoin, Litecoin, Purecoin, Namecoin, and Dogecoin, and Catcoin. Actually, no, I'm just kidding about those last two. They do really exist. In fact, people are making money on Catcoin at the moment. But anyway, those four first ones are sort of the more relevant ones. We're going to give you a rundown about this cryptocurrency thing and what it's all about. So at the most basic level, these cryptocurrencies are really no different than the money that you have in your wallet. Similar to this money in my wallet, it has no intrinsic value. It's just bits of data, whereas this is just pieces of paper. You can't actually really do much with this other than like throw it in the air like a rap star, or like, strike menacing poses and hold large wads of it, or whatever else you want to do. It also bears some similarity to commodities like gold or diamonds, though. So there's no central bank that controls it. And keeping with that theme of no control, like gold and diamonds, it can be sent directly from user to user without any credit card companies, banks, or other intermediaries. Now, also similar to gold, but unlike the wrap status paper, you can't just print a bunch of a cryptocurrency. They need to be mined. So at the heart of Bitcoin, for example, there is a mathematical problem. Users solve these problems with high-end computer parts. Graphics cards are better than CPUs, and beyond those are ASIC cards. And every time a solution to the problem is found, there is a reward given in the form of a Bitcoin. Now, the difficulty of this math problem varies with the strength of the network, so that the solutions are found at regular intervals, every 10 minutes on average. The reward also varies, or the reward itself also varies, except it is tied to a 4-year scale, which started at 10.5 million coins in the first year, and then will halve. We're going to reach the upper limit of 21 million Bitcoins, and after that, like gold, once we run out of it, we can't mine more. And the theory is that Bitcoins will become more expensive as they become more rare, and people eventually lose them. I mean, once you lose a wallet full of Bitcoins, those Bitcoins are gone forever. There is a saving grace. Unlike normal currency that can only make smaller denominations like pennies and dollars, Bitcoins can actually be divided up to 8 decimal places. So 0.00000001 Bitcoin would be the smallest denomination of Bitcoin. That's how, even with a Bitcoin hovering at anywhere between $500 to $1,500 Canadian, depending on the time of day and what's going on out there in the market, you can still just use a fraction of that to pay for a pack of gum, for example. It's not like, oh well, do you have change for $700 for this packet? No, it's not like that. Now, the way that Bitcoins are stored is in a virtual wallet, which basically keeps a unique record of every single transaction and also allows you to send and receive Bitcoins. All transactions are also verified by the miners, and that record is permanently stored by all members of the network. So that means that transactions can take a few minutes in order to complete and verify that it has actually gone through. So that is the general idea behind Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies really as a whole. But what about all these other cryptocurrencies? We've mostly talked about Bitcoin so far. Well, there are 3 main ones: Litecoin, Purecoin, and Namecoin. Litecoins are the second biggest cryptocurrency right now, with the main advantage, I guess, being that they're a lot cheaper, they're easier to mine, and they're also about 4 times faster when completing a transaction. Speaking of them being easier to mine, Litecoin is also ASIC resistant, which means that ASIC cards and machines that are special pieces of hardware that are built simply to mine cryptocurrency faster is not that effective on it. Now, speaking of ASICs, let's talk a little bit about what those are. So for Bitcoin particularly, because it's not ASIC resistant, ASIC cards and machines are special pieces of hardware that are built simply to mine Bitcoin way faster than even the highest end consumer grade hardware. So to put it in perspective, the fastest video card produces between 1 to 2 kilo hash, which is the unit of measurement for how quickly you can calculate cryptocurrency. So these dedicated cards, compared to 1.2 kilo hash, can produce up to 1,500 gigahash at power consumptions that are much lower. Power consumption is one of the major costs of mining Bitcoins because you have to have the hardware working extremely hard. So essentially, Litecoins, when I say ASIC resistant, it means that they are much harder to make dedicated hardware for, and GPUs, graphics cards, remain the most efficient way to mine them. And that makes them much more accessible than the $2,000+ ASIC monster dedicated hardware. And in addition to that, you can actually use your graphics card for other things. So it's more for real people, normal people. Now, all the other currencies have their unique spin, but I won't bog you too much down with all of that. Just check out the description to learn more about them. But in summary, Bitcoins are a virtual currency, which, like we said, is not really that different from a paper currency. This is sort of virtual value as well. You can mine them with high-end computer parts or ASIC miners. There are a maximum of 21 million Bitcoins out there, 12 million of which have already been found, and all the transactions are publicly and anonymously stored. Now, stay tuned tomorrow, guys, because we are going to go over exactly how to build a Bitcoin mining rig. If this little video here has piqued your interest, what you might need, and we're going to show off Wheels, this Frankenstein system that is hard at work right now, mining in the next room.
Okay, folks, that is a little breakdown on the Bitcoin. If it's your first time understanding of Bitcoin, I just played that audio because it seemed to be pretty clear. You know, yeah, that's a white guy giving it a game. It's not about where the game come from, it's if it work or not, right? Yeah, so let me show you a website that you guys can go to, CoinDesk.com, and get you some information, you know, as we're going to monitor this Bitcoin over time. And let me put that off. Make sure I'm showing the screen. Okay. So as you see, since we started this video, the Bitcoin didn't already move to $895.29. So had you bought a Bitcoin when I first hit play, it'd already be up point some change. Woo, it just changed again. Goddamn, you better get on it. Quit playing. Now, do expect the Bitcoin to fluctuate. So I'm going to show you, this is CoinDesk.com. You know, I found this site pretty useful, so I use it, right? And it gives you the opening was $885. Today's high was $902.74, and today's low went right back down to the opening, right? So it hasn't fallen since its opening, right? So it works just like the stock market. Here's a simple graph of what has been occurring today, right? So if you bought it, if you came in at the low of today and bought it at 885, right, you would already be up to 894. That's what's happening. So what makes the Bitcoin change prices? Well, just like regular currency, the market can be affected by various changes that's going on. So right now, China is an advanced STEM country, and they know how to play with money, right? So I found one of these articles, and I'm gonna click on it as soon as I recognize it again. Where is the thing with China? Here we go. So Bitcoin's trader adapt to the wait and see stance as China's impact fades, right? So we click on that. Let's see what they're talking about. Is this the one this may be or maybe not. Uh-oh. No thanks. We don't want that. All right. I think, well, let me go back one more time because it was two articles where they dealt with China. Let me just make sure I'm clicking on the right one. And it says Bitcoin spikes above turbulence. That's actually the one I think I was reading. Let me click on it. Yeah, this was the one I was reading. Okay, and it's still talking about China and what they're doing in some ways, right? So it says the Bitcoin prices have passed 900 today, though this feat was diminished by several rallies that ultimately failed to push it over its value above its benchmark. The digital currency rose as much as $904.76 after falling below 880 early in the session, climbing above the levels amid modest volatility. Okay, so what different countries do, they may do various things to alter the price or to slow the Bitcoin down compared to their physical currency that they're working with. Also can compare to other markets like diamonds and also gold. All the changes of things that happen within society affect the prices of currencies across all markets. Now, Bitcoin is just the future Star Wars type of currency. Now, here's the thing that he spoke about when he was breaking down the Bitcoin. They're going to print, let's say that they're going to print or create 1 million Bitcoins. And let's assume that today there are only 400 Bitcoins in existence. Well, over time, the other 600 Bitcoins, 600,000 Bitcoins would be mined, what they call mining, ways to produce a Bitcoin into the market. Ultimately, when the number reaches 1,000 or 1 million, there'll be no more Bitcoins to mine. You'll only be able to play with that 1,000. So let's say at current rate that Bitcoin is worth $900 per Bitcoin, and there are 1 million Bitcoins in circulation. All right. Now, since there are no more that can be produced at that time, then this is just like gold. If we dug up all the gold out the ground and that was all the gold left in the ground, other than going to space and digging in one of those asteroids, there'll be no more gold to get. So if gold has value to people and you're the only person with all the gold, well, you could sell the gold to what anyone was willing to pay. That price will fluctuate as you disperse the gold. So if we look at the value of how you're able to use a Bitcoin, which it operates just like regular money. You create these Bitcoin wallets, you put your money inside the Bitcoin, and you go and trade and buy and move money around as you would do with any other currency. The difference is the transaction eliminates the government's opportunity to tax your transaction or get involved between you and another. So let's say you had a car and I had some gold and I wanted to get your car in exchange for my gold. Well, if you was willing to take 1 billion of gold for your Mercedes Benz, then I would just simply arrive to your home with my gold. You'll sign over your car to me that you traded it for the gold, and the deal is complete. Now you have the gold, I have the car. The state was not involved in the transaction, so therefore there's no way for them to cut taxes or add any whatever they do involving in your transaction. So this is some of what Bitcoins allow you to do. It allows you to make a transaction without government involvement. And they have ways to maneuver this money around where they can't even track every move that you make. Now they're getting better at learning how to track things and learning how to get their taxes out of it. That's why the system is still in play, because they are able to get some type of money out of it that soothes them from trying to eliminate this altogether. So we're back to basically a bartering system, and we have found a currency that we're willing to use for this bartering trade. So that's why I'm encouraging you guys to start to study the Bitcoin. Even if you haven't got involved, just, study it. And every so often, I'm going to post the price of the current Bitcoin that day, and that way we can look back, for those of you who are not monitoring the Bitcoin, and figure out if this thing is fluctuating or rising. So what I see in the future is when those million, let's say that was 1 million that they're going to produce, once that 1 million Bitcoins is produced, and that's it, that this Bitcoin may be valued one day at $2,500 per Bitcoin, and probably even greater amounts than that. So if that's the case, that one day there are no more Bitcoins to mine, and those that exist are based upon, you know, different ways of trading. Now it's a matter of other companies getting involved and creating other cryptocurrencies that can be used, where that process would start all over if you bought into that Bitcoin. And being that Bitcoin came on the market first and assumed most of the users of cryptocurrencies, they tend to be at a higher value. And things could change. The Litecoin could take place. It's the second runner-up in cryptocurrencies, right? So it's just like having an American dollar or the yen. If you have your money in yen, then whatever the value of yen moves, that's what your money is worth. If you have your money in US dollars, whatever the value of the US dollar is worth, that's what your money can buy. Same thing happening in this cryptocurrency. The difference is you can't move a dollar without the government involved, because they print the money. Well, in this case, they do not print the Bitcoin. So this is just another way that technology has stepped in and foiled the plan. What do you guys think about the Bitcoin? Have you got brave enough to reach out and buy you a crypto wallet, a Bitcoin wallet? Have you tried to put $100 in the Bitcoin yet and use it? Have you bought it just to hold it and see how much value it may gain for you? If you got a lot of money, you should buy one entire Bitcoin. That way, when I say that Bitcoin is worth $1,100 now, somewhere along the year, that thing should hit $1,100, all-time high. And if you paid $890 for it, how much money is that? Well, that sounds like $210 that the value of your $800 has gained. Now, we could also look at the value of a dollar and how it fluctuates, because you have dollars in your pocket. If you got a job or you're getting some money, you got the value of a dollar in your pocket. Now the question is, did your dollar, if you had $890 and you held it in your wallet, could you then go exchange that money for $1,100? We'll see. We'll see what that money, how it grows and fluctuates in value compared to this cryptocurrency. So I suggest that you go in and you look at cryptocurrency and you get an idea of what's going on in the market. And with that, this is your boy, the Digital Pit Boss, coming at you again with some more useful, practical information for your growing economic need. We're getting it in, y'all. Later on, I'm going to be uploading the next soap that we have up that I made last night. That's the activated bamboo charcoal with the black seed oil. I'll be cutting that soap, filming that, and let you get a look at that. And we'll be at it. So please comment under the video after the video and let me know. Give me some information on what you're doing with the Bitcoin. Like and subscribe to the page. Also hit that bell if you're subscribing next to the subscriber button in order to get your notifications. You'll see the notification window pop up. Click the button on the notifications, and maybe one day YouTube might actually send you a notification to Pit Boss's videos. Until then, this is your boy, the Digital Pit Boss, baby. And I'm out of here.